Going off here, maker of those funky things to listen to, brings you the rhinestone rock star monster of a podcast, baby bubba. We come equipped with the stereophonic funk producing, disco inducing, twin magnetic rock receptors. If you want to see me boogie, all you gotta do is wind me up. It's the Going Off podcast with the Rap Critic and Muse. I had no expectations as to what the phone call would have in store for me this fine afternoon. I pressed pick up on the old cell phone, the old cellular phone, and what am I met with? RC singing the lyrics to Invisible Touch by Genesis at me.
Oh, but with a little twist. She seems to have an invisible touch, yeah. She reaches in and needs to get sued for non-consenting sexual harassment.
The line that always got me.
She has the built-in ability
That's the
to
one.
take everything she sees.
She has the built-in ability, like she's a robot.
Wait, is this just a thief? Is that what he's talking about?
I don't know.
It's Catwoman out this bitch.
That's the line. She has the built-in ability. It was just like, wait a second. To take everything she sees.
And I don't really know her. I only know her name. Well, then what the fuck? Like, I thought it was...
He doesn't really know her, right? But then also goes on to say, well, she doesn't like losing.
Right, well, have you been stalking her? Is that what's going on here?
She's gonna mess up your life. You'll want her just the same.
Yeah. How does he know this?
He's been taking notes, man.
In the bushes.
Phil Collins is a little freak, and I think it's about time we all talked about it.
And okay, as long as we're on this, we're talking about no jacket required. Let's do it. No jacket required. Let's do it. 'Cause my mom had this album. That's literally the reason why I'm thinking about these songs.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing this. The red face, like it's like a horror movie or something.
Dude, if you look at the Phil Collins albums, they're always extreme close-ups of his fucking face.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, if you look at his first 4 albums, they're all just extreme close-ups of his face from different angles.
That's so not creative.
And then when he remastered the albums, he just took new photos in the same poses.
See, I thought I had only seen the remastered thing, so I thought it was just that album that he did that for.
Oh no, it's like the first 4 of them.
He just does that. They're like, he made all the music, and they're like, all right, let's shoot this album cover. Ah, fuck, I didn't have anything. Okay, how about I just shoot my face?
I don't want people to buy this album expecting Genesis and only getting Phil Collins, so I'm gonna make it extremely apparent. On the cover, this is all you're getting, is me, my big mug.
Guys, guess what the name of the first album is? Face Value. So I guess that's what you gotta take these albums at. But What? I always remember like listening to that song. I was like, wait, her name isn't Susudio. It is Susudio.
Susudio.
It's only 2 S's, but he says just say the word Susudio. So it's a little. There's a little what's that word? Not a stutter.
It's almost
but like
a stutter.
A repeat. Yeah, like it actually is Susudio, but he says Susudio. So when you think, oh yeah, that's a song, Susudio. And then this thing is like, what is that? That's not a real name. That's nothing.
It's a placeholder, 100%. It was put in there as like a placeholder, and then was like, yeah, that's fine.
Well, that's so funny how it is like, I feel like nowadays we've been having these like musicals sort of like being able to go back and be like, wow, what was the inspiration for this? John Lennon, why'd you write this song? Oh, I wrote something about like coffee and eggs and then I changed it to yesterday or some shit. Like, I was like, oh, really?
We weren't supposed to have the access to celebrities to ask them. It's like,
right.
Whenever you see...
These lyrics were supposed to be just handed down by God and, already meant to be.
And now you watch the Genius videos where they're sitting there and they're breaking down their lyrics and there's seriously like nothing to it. It's like, hey, explain this. And it's just, again, face value. It's like there's nothing to really read too deep into it. But yeah, back then it was like, no one's ever going to have the chance to ask me what this means. Who cares?
Of course, the infamous song, Coming in the Air. I feel it coming in the air tonight. Yeah, that was absolutely about nothing. And what's so funny is that, like, it's now immortalized in that Eminem song, the theory of what the song is about. You know, it's like, remember that song In the Air in the Night about that guy who could have saved that other guy from drowning, but he didn't? And then Phil saw it at a concert and then he found him, and it's like, yeah, that didn't happen at all. That was just a lie.
Yeah, what the fuck? You know, I didn't know that. And I also didn't know about that whack-ass Eminem one. What the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, like that, because that was the theory about what that song was about. That Phil Collins saw a dude drowning and didn't, like, do anything about it. And then he saw him at a concert later on or something like that. Because the lyric is like, I saw you were drowning and I did not lend a hand.
Oh, you know? Yeah, because he would just admit to that.
You're right. Like,
and then have no problem singing it, like, on a nightly basis, reliving this traumatic incident.
The thing is, there are really stupid people out there who do give away shit, you know? Like, like, as much as I want to be like, yeah, no one would do that, but then it's like, remember that Boondocks episode where they were joking on, like, what I think actually did happen, where it's like, oh, they played for the jury a song called Play It for the Jury. Play it for the jury, the defendant and the plaintiff, the court reporter, and the bailiff that I beat up this guy, you know? No, that's what I remember it was. It was Tupac. That's what they were making fun of an episode. There was another part where, like, the Mos Def character beats up, like, a director or something like that, and what they were referencing was in the 90s when, like, Tupac, like, had beat up John Singleton on the set of, like, a movie or something like that. And, like, originally, like, while, you know, the case was, like, you know, it had just happened, so, like, nobody really knows anything for sure unless, if you don't say anything, you know? And he decides to go on Yo MTV Raps and starts going like, yo, man, if these suckers wouldn't have da-da-da-da, and tell John Singleton, and then, like, you know, Dr. Dre and, like, the other guy are like, whoa, hey, don't give that away.
There was another musical topic, a weird lyric that I wanted to talk about. And it's not even that the lyric's weird. It's a TikTok meme. I have not listened to the Drake 21 Savage album.
Oh, yeah. I listened to it. You don't need to. It's literally just that one song at the end of the Drake techno album and just stretched out into 40 to 50 minutes. It's like, oh, this is the thing that you wanted? This is the only thing that really sold that anyone gave a shit? Okay, I'll do 13 more of these songs where I just use like an old school 90s sounding rowdy sample and then just throw him on half of it. Okay, I'll just do that. And, you know, it's so insecure. Like...
And it's about the song Rich Flex.
Is that the one where he's like, 21, can you do something for me?
Yeah.
It sounds like he's either like, you know, bringing him out, you know, he's like the announcer for him, or he's like weirdly, you know, into him, like, oh yeah, 21, yeah, that's right.
Everyone reenacting the lyrics of the video, it like being super flirtatious, and 21 just being like, 21, just standing there. Does he know what people like? What people think about how he sounds in that? Do you think he cares?
Right, because you remember that whole, you know, thing where he's like, oh, I'm totally aware, and, you know, if I'm aware and show that I'm aware of the memes, then that'll get you guys to stop making fun of me, and then we just didn't. And it,
oh, God. Like, that's gonna be the next fucking music video, is him super overplaying it, like, hey, guys.
Oh, no.
You guys thought it was kind of sus. Aware. Now look, I'm in on the joke, and now the joke is dead.
Guys, making fun of that video is definitely out.
Have you seen the Drake video? Delete all your memes. Delete all of them. They're all obsolete now.
We helped make this.
This is the monster we helped create.
Then what hath the internet wrought?
We launched a brand new Black November deal, saving $50 for an album review request, and the folks heard us loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
The queue is blowing up a bit again, as we knew it would. So, because of that, we wanted to, this week, go ahead, knock out 3 reviews instead of just 2.
Triple up.
Gotta stack them up. We're ticking all the boxes this week, if I dare say. We've got emo. We've got hip-hop. We've got, whatever you would call the Prince album.
Yeah, it's always like the wild card. That's what it is, wild card.
It's like the R&B, funk, dance, pop. I don't know.
But it's also like a novelty in and of itself, you know, like, yeah.
If you haven't heard it yet, you'll see.
I was going to start off with Heavy is the Head, since that's the short one, you know.
Ransom and Big Ghost.
And Big Ghost. Shout out to Big Ghost. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe.
Requested by Mick Swagburger XL. So here we got our taste of hip hop, our dose very small dose. It was a bite size.
Yeah, like 26 minutes.
26-minute listen, yeah.
But I'll say it. This is a little engine that could have a rap album. Like it's so short, but it's like every single second is packed with like just fucking bars all fucking day. And just to say it myself, I fucking enjoyed the shit out of this album. Like, I think we've listened to, and I don't think that they're like directly affiliated. I think the only connection is Big Ghost production. But a West Side Gun and Conway the Machine.
Okay.
Like there's a similar sort of feel that all these guys have, the Griselda sort of feel. But then when I looked it up, like he's apparently not directly affiliated with them. So I was like, oh, okay. Well,
maybe they're from the same scene. I haven't looked into it. I honestly don't know. Maybe someone in the chat can fill us in on that one. But yeah, I definitely got that vibe too.
Yeah, someone who has more time to look up stuff than us who need to record it within a certain time frame.
Yeah. I thought it was okay.
You weren't feeling it as much.
I wasn't super blown away. I didn't think any of it was bad. Yeah. With a thing like Heavy is the Head and all these Kings things and these slight offhanded kind of Game of Thrones type references, it doesn't really come up a lot. It's just kind of like
it's a thematic sort of like background thing, because it's like in the skits you kind of hear like people sword fighting, you know, in the name of the king, that sort of thing, and you hear there's this one like old man who's like every now and then kind of says something, you know, this sounds very like, you know, the 14th century bard, you know, who's like telling the tale. I like the little accoutrements that kind of like heighten the sort of thematic like aesthetics of what the album's kind of trying to do. But yeah, like the lyrics themselves don't, I mean, it does every now and then, but like it's not like, you know, well, there's like one or two songs where it's specifically about like, oh yes, in the king's chambers with my, you know, chambermaids and whatever and what have you. But like, yeah, for the most part, it's just like, no, this is just about dope ass lyrics. We're not actually in the 1400s. It's just using the idea of a king as a, you know, representation of how fucking cool I am, you know?
Yeah.
I gotta say, just the lyrics are just so fucking dope. Who do you know better? Don't make the wrong choice. I play this game without stretching because I destroy joints. Rand is at it again. I'm fully mad with the pen like Lorenzo and LaMelo. This fellow is ill with the ballpoint, evoking his spirits like a devout Buddhist. Niggas fierce without shooters, came from the dirt. That don't mean we have to amount to it. Like just little, like it just felt like every line was just like labored over like a fucking Hephaestus. Like, you know what I mean? Like banging these together. Because every time I'd be like, oh, is that a whack? Like, oh no, that was it. No, that was solid to it. Well, damn, all right. Like, and even the guest features, like it was one of those, like. It was so, like, consistent. Like, you know when you listen to an album and, like, it wavers in quality because it's different people writing. Like, with this, it felt like it was the same person writing every verse. Because it was just like, oh, we're just at the same level of quality. Okay, all right. The only thing that I'd say, like, threw me off was in All the King's Men, where it's, like, really incredible verses. And then in the middle of each verse, it's, like, something that sounds like someone speaking at a funeral, but they're, like, way too enthusiastic to be at a funeral.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
That? It was like, what? It's like, you got a halo and not a hashtag with your 9th grade year. I didn't pull you in when we dapped. You look so frail. I'm afraid I was going to hug you to death. Now I wish I could hug you to life. Yeah. Amen. And it's just like, why is he so enthusiastic about what sounds like a 9th grader being killed? Like, you know?
I think the only issue I had overall, and it's kind of a minor nitpick, I didn't really get much of a sense of, like, a unique personality throughout. Like, I liked some of the bars, but it's just kind of not the most dynamic delivery, I guess.
It's not that they're not fucking brolic with the pen. It's just like, are you really trying to hear 24 songs that is going to be the exact same? Like, you know, they're not going to make songs about their, you know, emotional feelings and the love that they have or, you know, a serious topic or get a little goofy. Like, it's going to be dope ass bar for bar for bar, like dope shit.
In my head, I knew I was like not feeling someone. Lou from Paradise on Off With His Head. You got Vinny Paz, who I thought he had a fucking scorching ass verse, but then sandwiched around him, Lou from Paradise and Ill Bill, who I thought were both okay, but you should have saved Vinny Paz for the end.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie though, I kind of didn't like Vinny Paz as much.
Really?
And I think to me, it's just like, and I hate to like, you know, amount it to a shtick, but it's like I'm just kind of over the overuse of the biblical imagery. Like it just feels like he's the religious Dennis Miller. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, you don't get this reference, do you? And here's another reference from the Bible that you probably don't get. You know, like it's just like, okay, I get it. You've gone through the Bible. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, I feel bad about saying that because it's not like well put together lyrically, but like after a while, like one or two of the bars just felt like it tipped a little over into, if you don't literally know exactly what this is, you're not gonna get that, you know? Like, it's not paranoia, pious suspicion. Abraham told his son about a vision, which has nothing to do with anything. That was just a random line that's in there. Like, that does not relate to the next line. It's just, it's not paranoia, pious suspicion. Abraham told his son about a vision. Anyway, how you gonna make peace with Allah when it's no contrition? How you gonna call yourself a provider with no prohibition? And I'm like, what? Prohibition? What does that mean? What is that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that means. Like, you know?
As I'm looking through my notes, I'm reminding myself, I also have written down that on Blackwater, I have written down, all right verse from Rome Streets, kinda so-so.
I can't remember.
See, I don't really remember offhand either, because there's just so much on here.
It's just like every time one verse is over, it just bangs you right into another one. Like, it's not like these motherfuckers ain't spitting, right? Like, oh, all the King's Men, just to give you an example, like just like the way the rhymes specifically are stacked, right? Like street sagas told by a tortured sinner who preach horror, speak martyr, demon whisperer, labeled a beast charmer, Pete Parker swinging through these broken cities that we fathered, teach toddlers, flashy convicted felons who beat charges, peach cobbler, food for your thought if you want your peace larger. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like, what did he say? Oh yeah, alopecia. You missing here on this list of classic features. Cats is weaker. Putting out sleepers. You couldn't out-rap a Peter. Like, holy fuck. Oh, goddamn.
I have from Tyranny, I don't feel the need to record with liars. I'm awfully biased. I'm for all survivors. Have your jaw with wires if you thought you could try us. It was like, whoa, shit. Also thought this was kind of slick. I was supposed to change, like, Clark Kent into Superman, but I'm still stuck in the lowest lane. It's like,
yeah,
right.
It's just dope.
That's
I mean,
pretty
just
cool.
offhandedly said that. I was like, oh, damn. Blackwater, I thought there was, you know, when people do, like, the repeat rhymes, but if it's, like, you kind of change it a little bit, it kind of like, oh, I get what you're doing there. Because he goes, like, if I shoot you, then I might be brainless. But if you shoot me, well, then there'll be hits on your family, then your wife is brainless. It's just like, oh, well, fuck.
I have an example of that with Off With Your Head. We'll get back to Blackwater in a second. With Off With the Head, he goes, I strategize, I cross my T's, and then I black my eyes. So when the shrapnel flies, I'll cross your T's when you bat your eyes. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, flipping it like that. It's like, oh, shit.
On Blackwater, what he says, I stashed a half an M in the safest vault with the late assault. Bodies in the freezer, I leave you before your face defrosts. Like, oh, shit.
Like,
Jesus.
Shit. And then, the hook on this one was just dope, too. Like, they changed the game. We was dominating. Now they want to accommodate him. Assalamu alaikum. Now his mama praying. God to slay him. Celebrate his life. Yeah, we holiday him. Not for playing. We put him in that work. What's your occupation? Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
It was just fucking... He was foolish with these fucking flows, man.
And it had really, like, spooky, ominous beats, too.
Yeah. Oh, there was one... what was the song in particular that had the trumpets that was just epic? Ransom the Destroyer. Yeah, that's the one I was like, oh, all right, fucking Conan the Conqueror out this bitch. Oh, yeah, and that was the one, the lyrics as well. It's like, spit verses, even the Lord slanders, no more glamour, dropping shit on this world as heavy as Thor's hammer. Like, oh, fuck. Oh, man, just dope shit, man, just dope shit. Like, there one or two skits kind of felt like a little, like, I don't think we needed more than one of this, because I feel like it's the same point, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I don't even remember the skits.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, you reigned, and that's what he did. It's like, I mean, okay. But yeah, like, it's not like it's actually telling a story, you know, so it's just kind of like the same, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, like I said, I like the last lyric on King's Ransom. It's about time that I feast and play with my wenches. I throw them out of the bed when it's time to lay with my empress. Just first of all, that line, just like the, oh yeah, BT dubs, oh, get out of here, my wife's here. Like, I got to flee the soldiers who told us to stay by the entrance. Got a king's hand, advisor, a wizard, and my apprentice. Kind of senseless. I know that they're plotting to kill me. Shit is foul, but heavy is the head that wears the crown. Fast forward, I'm on the ground. My son, the heir to the throne, holding me down. He gonna regret it because every king gets beheaded. And it's like, oh.
I did think there was like a corny ass deep voice laugh on that track that I was
yeah,
just like,
one or two times. Yeah. Anytime anyone does the deep, what was I listening to where someone does the deep voice
Anytime there's a deep, like a pitched down laugh, it's like, all right.
You know what I'm trying to say? I think it was Macklemore.
Oh, Macklemore.
On the Unholy Mess I Made album, I didn't get to review, but I think you and somebody else
Me
got
and Rav
to it.
reviewed it.
Yeah.
God,
and
there was a deep voice laugh on there?
Yeah, it was that Brad Pitt's cousin fucking trash ass song.
Oh God, no.
Yo, me and Brad, we cuzzo. It's like, stop it.
Man.
And like the reason why I fucked with Macklemore at first, I wouldn't even have called him like the best rapper or anything, but it's like, oh, he was unique. He was doing his own thing. He was making his own type of songs. That's what I like fucked with him for. And then when I started seeing him do remember he did the Marmalade song with Lil Yachty? It's just like,
no.
The fuck is
that?
Like, yeah, that was so fucking whack. And it was just like, it was clearly when he had, I think he had like parted ways with Ryan Lewis. So like even the interesting production that kind of made him stand out wasn't there anymore. So it's like, what are we here for now?
Yeah, I don't think I noticed that there was a separation there, but yeah, I do remember not seeing his name on the most recent single either. Yeah, so Macklemore is just, out on his own.
Yeah, I've never thought he was that bad. It was just like clearly like oh, this kid has heart. But then whenever you hear him like try to do like speed rapping, it's like, okay, that's not really speed rapping, but okay, like it's like, you know what I mean? And I mean, he got a beat, like I gave a little speed to a great white shark on Shark Week,
It was okay for what it was.
Yeah,
I always kind of like when Macklemore doesn't take himself too serious and he's being the goofy rap guy.
Sure, I love those songs, yeah.
But then sometimes it's just too much, like on Brad Pitt's Cousin, it's like, you need to find that sweet spot, man, because you could easily fall right into a fucking pool full of corn,
Yeah, like you want so goofy that you want the Will Smith charisma goofy where it's like, oh, that guy's so silly, I would hang out with him instead of like, oh my God, that guy. You don't want the Tom Green, oh, my bum is on your lips and I'm pulling my pants down and I'm falling all over, and like nobody thinks that's cool, you know what I mean?
No one's here for the lonely Swedish. The thing with Will Smith was he was goofy, but he was cool. Macklemore never came off as cool.
Yeah, and I think like part of it was he was like leaning into it, right? I know I'm the white guy. I know you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but there's a certain level where again you got to balance the lean. You got to It's like Michael Jackson in the Smooth Criminal video. You got to balance the lean.
Sometimes you got to have your feet fixed with that weird notch that slides into the ground.
That you didn't tell other kids about, so now they're trying to imitate the thing and just falling on their faces.
Freaking their
like
fucking noses and shit.
but that's neither here nor there.
When I rated this album, I came down with a 3.5. I imagine I might come out with a 4 if I listen to it again.
I gave it a straight up 5. I thought it was solid.
Okay.
Like it was just every song was so just like doing a good job that I was just like, okay, all right. All right, this song passes. Yes, you pass. Okay, this song passes. You know what the assignment is. Yes. Like it was boring. Like honestly, having to rate it, just be like, yeah, this one's good too. I'm like, all right, fine, this is good too. Like
A big thing and a big challenge and a hurdle, I guess, when it comes to the podcast is how little time we have with the albums, really. Theoretically, yeah, we did get requested these albums
like about a week.
Months ago, so we had time to listen to them.
We've got other songs to listen to.
Yeah, we have we're doing other albums, we're doing other projects, we got other stuff going on.
And also, I like to think, like, I feel like kids, there's a certain level of people who are like, oh, man, how could you listen to that album and you're not, like, a fan of it, so your opinion doesn't count. It's like, no, most people aren't a fan of most artists' music, so that's how most people are going to be listening to it. So I think it's only fair to come at it mostly from that perspective a lot of the time, you know what I mean? Like, it can help if you know the artist and, it gives you a special extra little something there that you can, like, glom onto, but it's like, most people aren't going to know about that, It's not like, oh, if only you knew that more about the Supremes when they made Baby Love, that would make you really like the song. It's like, no, if you engage with it at the level that you engage with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I was just thinking about how an album will come out, and I'll be, like, double-checking to see what Fantano has to say about it, and then the video will come out, like, 2 weeks later, and I'll be like, man, he really sat on that one. Like,
hey, that's good, take your time,
Yeah, you gotta take your time. So, I fully understand that you're not gonna get the exact same kind of review from us that you're gonna get. Like, I got a comment, and I don't want to address it outright.
Oh, he's giving you the nuts and bolts. That's Anthony Fantano, what he does. We're giving you the the conversation about our emotional involvement with it. It's either two different mediums. Yeah. You can't, apples and oranges.
I'm just talking about how this shit hit me in the moment. What was the comment? Something like, I've come to the conclusion that not everyone is cut out to review music, and y'all just aren't, or some shit like that.
Wow.
And I'm just like, man.
I'm glad
We
that
still
we
got
could get
paid,
the authority
though.
from. I'm glad we could get the authority from random ass motherfucker 043 about
Yeah.
like that was the true the blessings of whether or not we were able to review music. Yeah.
When people start specifically paying you to review albums that they want to hear your thoughts on, I'll, take that shit more serious. I'm just putting it out there.
Oh my god, we're being the internet people who are like, oh yeah, random person. Well, actually.
No, I never said actually. Don't put that in my mouth. But and I'm not making excuses either. I'm just saying that we're not
the officiators on whether or not we're just telling you how we feel, and that's all we can do. I'm sorry.
It is also a little suspicious that these comments almost always pop up on reviews of Kanye albums.
Oh,
and Eminem albums.
Critical of. Yeah, no one's ever coming to like the albums that we reviewed well and going like, oh well, I think that's just your opinion because I think the fan base doesn't like this album. So no, that never happens.
Nobody has ever left a comment on an episode of our podcast saying what that album was trash. How did you rank it that high? Except for maybe that one time you gave the Eminem album a 4. I don't know. But besides that, everybody just kind of lets us get away with it. They're only mad when we give it a low rating. They're never...
And again, see, that was an Eminem album, see? It's contentious when it's an Eminem album, see?
I think it was the... Oh, which album was it? I think it might have been Music to Get Murdered By. I don't think they liked our take on that
No, it couldn't
one.
have been. It couldn't have been. It was the one before, the one with the American flag where he's like, oh, shame on this country,
That
right?
was the one you gave a 4. I'm saying the one the guy left a comment on was the Music to Get Murdered By album review.
Oh, Jesus Christ, how could that be the one? I just don't.
I don't even remember what I said about that album.
He's so he's clearly over rapping at that point, and this is like, how can you enjoy this? He's like a robot that's just like malfunctioning. He's like, I can't stop over lyricizing everything.
See, I'm finding myself at a crossroads of, I'm very happy that random people are finding our videos, and it's not just the same group of people watching our videos over and over again, that new eyes are getting on the video. But at the same time, how old is that video? Were you just randomly searching for people you didn't know reviewing albums, and you're like, hey, I really want to know what these two people got to say about this Eminem album that's like 2 years old, or whatever. It's like, that's just very random.
7 billion people,
8 now.
Oh, god damn it.
I know, just yesterday we reached 8 billion.
Oh, man.
We gotta step it up. We got a whole new billion possible eyes on our shit.
I mean, we got, oh yeah, exactly, the potential, like, oh man, we gotta straighten our ties. Ooh.
The fucking pressure. Oh god, it's on.
Let's get on to this next one.
I imagine we're talking about, how do you pronounce this?
Yeah.
Carissa's
weird.
But it's not spelled weird.
Wired? Oh, wait. Yeah, I guess you do spell weird. Yeah, because I before E, except after C, except for these words, which of course would be weird because it's weird.
Yeah, it's spelled W-I-E-R-D.
So
that's not how you spell weird.
It would just be the emphasis, right? It would be Carissa's weird.
Oh!
You see, yes.
Okay.
Weird, like a fjord.
Well, a goofy pronunciation, little play on word pun with the name of the band, that makes a lot of sense. With a band like this, with an album like this, which is not at all serious at all.
Oh, they gotta get the little goofball in.
You gotta get your jokes in, you gotta get your ha-has in there where you can.
Songs about leaving.
Songs about leaving.
Thank you to SMS Stuff for this request.
Sure. Thanks.
Oh man. And boy, oh boy, when I started listening to this, I was like, wow, it's straight. Have you played the game Life is Strange?
No, but I get it.
This is so Life is Strange core. Like, to all of you American girls at the movies, very emotional songs that are always down tempo and never go any faster than 75 BPMs.
I've got a video game reference for the fucking Batman album. I gotta remember it. You just remember it. You just reminded me.
Okay.
I like emo stuff, right? I've even on the podcast said before that Mountain Goats, Father John Misty.
Oh, for sure.
I like some depressing stuff. It's fine. I am a much bigger fan of when the music and the tone of the lyrics or whatever are kind of juxtaposed. So it's like, oh, you got some dark lyrics, but the music's kind of upbeat or something. Now, I totally understand and respect what they were going for with this album, but my God, this was not for me at all. And I just got to say at the top, and again, we're just talking about how shit hits us personally. I know y'all are going to get sick of hearing this. My fucking misphonia, man. You got your lips
what happened?
all the way on the fucking microphone. You're just whispering into that goddamn shit.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. So you've got a couple different vocalists on here. Who I think there's a person who has a more masculine sound that's whispering all the time. Yeah. And then you got someone with a little bit more of a feminine voice who's singing more of the singing. I will take them every day of the week. That person who's whispering on every song, get the fuck out of here. I can't stand that shit. I hate the sound of that.
And that person's on every song.
Oh.
The female voice, like, comes and goes.
Yeah, it's like they're on, like, 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, okay. And I just gotta say, man, like, these all just run together.
That's my problem. It's like, as I'm listening to it, I was just like, it's not that these aren't, like, well made. Like, it's not like I'm like, oh, these guys were just dicking around, farting around the studio. Like, no, I can tell that these were, like, compositions that they really put a lot into. But I'm sorry if they all sound at the same exact place all the time. It doesn't matter, because my brain is just going, what's the difference between that song and this song? You know what I mean? Like,
do you remember when we reviewed La Dispute Wildlife? And that was kind of like an emo song.
Yeah,
and a lot of the songs on there were kind of like about the same thing, but I don't know, man. The energy was there. Like, I was just thinking about how, like, that album was kind of, like, the central theme was, I left my hometown and I'm sad about it. Like, I miss everyone back home. And
right,
this
yeah,
one,
it gives you something to really feel and go through. And, go on.
And this one is mainly just about, like, I guess dealing with a breakup, I guess?
Yeah, and now they say at some point that the person might have, might have killed themselves. Like, the person
dealing
that he
with
was
the
in
breakup.
the relationship with. Yeah.
Yeah, they went through the breakup and they couldn't handle it. And then, like, that could be up for the listener's interpretation, yeah.
Yeah. But, that's the thing, it's like, I don't even hate these songs. Like I said, as I'm listening to it, it's like, they are well-made songs. I don't even think, like, I gave any of these, like, really bad ratings. It's just that, like, am I gonna listen to this? Because, like, that's the thing I want to take into account for real, right? Like, how much is this enjoyable as a project to listen to? And it's like, and this is very competent music. It's just not like, oh, yeah, throw on the... Like, this is so... You have to be in a very, very specific mood. You know what I mean?
I only really enjoyed... Okay, I didn't actually really enjoy any of them, but...
you was just not feeling it at all.
the ones I thought were... That hit me a little bit harder, I'll say. So You Want to Be a Superhero? I thought that one was kind of cool. I liked how the cadence got kind of janky at points, where, like, they weren't keeping on the time anymore, and it kind of was like... If you're feeling bad and it's really starting to get to you, you might lose your place and stuff like that. Like, that kind of like, ooh, like it added a different element, a different dynamic to it that I thought was cool. I also liked They'll Only Miss You When You Leave. I liked that also because they mixed it up a little bit. And I also thought that, like, the lyrics were a bit more substantial. I feel like a lot of these songs all just kind of say the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, it's like, because when I listen to certain parts, like, there are poignant lyrics that do make me go like, ooh, that actually hit a little hard. Like, that said something a little bit there. What was it? It says, was it me who acted that way? Is it you who should stay? I don't recall ever acting that way. Was it you who should have stayed? Like, and silently leaving the room. Like, I liked how that actually points at, like, how relationships can be, where you're like, wait, I don't know who really was at fault. Was it both of us? Was it a mixed thing? Like, like him really trying to cycle through and really trying to, like, figure that out. I thought, like when I can feel the honesty of the emotion pulling through and really hearing how it connects outside of just hashtag sad boy hours, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm able to really go like, oh, I can put myself into that emotion, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, when the lyrics get like a little too cryptic, I'm just like, I don't, like the music is pulling from a very emotional place, but if it's too cryptic, I just don't know what's being said. Like the piano song, I feel like was the worst one, where it's like, oh yes, music, really good sounding music, and then barely any lyrics until the tail end, and then what he's saying isn't like, you'll find release somewhere between the tree and its shade. When you go away, heaven's a distance, not a place. And I'm like, I'm not sure what that was supposed to mean.
I liked that as a lyric, but according to Genius, it's like lifted from someone else's song, so it's like a quote. I think the song I ended up giving the lowest rating overall was the first one. I think it just kind of put me in a mood of just like, fuck, man, is this really what this is gonna be? And I wasn't feeling it. And the vocals, like, you know, the singing, I was just like eked by. But I gotta say, like, the haunting violins on Silently Leaving the Room.
Right.
The fucking guitar riffs on Ignorant Piece of Shit. There are a lot of really cool musical moments on this album.
It fuses together a little, yeah.
And I will say, in true going off fashion with our coincidences, we get to A New Holiday, November 16th, and I'm sitting there listening to this album, taking notes on November 16th. It's like, whoa!
What's happening?
What? That happened. And yeah, I'm also going to say this up front. Genius didn't say one way or another. If any of this album is based on any true events or anything that happened to real people, tragedies, I don't mean to sound insensitive when we're like joking about this, but Genius didn't make it sound like any of this was like an actual thing. So I'm just going off what I read.
And either way, like, I'm sorry, but like, if the dude who made The Room was like, oh, but this is really emotional, someone died, and so it inspired me to make this movie, it's like, that's not gonna make the movie give more respect to it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, it still has to be doing something, right? Now, I'm not saying that this is The Room, but I'm just giving an extreme example to say, like, it still matters what you do with the piece. Like, yes, that can mean something to you, but I'm not you, so you have to make me care, you know? But like I said, but I'm still kind of conflicted because, like, I do think that they're really good, solid lyricism at points, and I think that they're, like, that's the thing that's throwing me. It's like when something can be competently made, but I'm still not necessarily, like, feeling it, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh, now, I did like September Come Take This Heart Away. Again, moments like this where it feels like a real tone poem with real, like, you know, it sounds like this could have been a song from the 40s or something like that that's really, like, cryptic, you know, where he says, like, I hope the seasons treat you well. I hope the seasons treat you kind as I never was, as comforting as I could never be. All these windows bring in the cold air. I hope you have a coat to keep you warm, warmer than those last times we spoke, warmer than the last words we said. I'm sure the wind blows gently on you now. I hope that nothing will ever remind you of me. Like, I love that little, you know, it's just like, oh, I hope wind around you is doing better than I do. And I hope I in no way am reminding it, nothing reminds you of me because I'm realizing how shitty I was. You know what I mean? Like, when I was able to get that emotion of like, oh shit, like, you know, realize, like, oh damn, I was the problem, you know?
I think it comes down to, I would have had a better time taking in the lyrics if the vocals weren't delivered so flat, or the lyrics weren't delivered so flat.
A little samey, yeah.
It's all very dry, so it all just kind of hits you all at the same kind of intensity, so it's like, I'm not really feeling the emotion on this, so I can't really empathize with it as much as I would be if it was more heart-wrenching in the delivery, like going back to the Law Dispute, like there was emotion on that album. You're fucking screaming. It's agonizing. It's like, holy shit, you're really going through it. But then it's like, I don't know.
I remember Ignorant Piece of Shit started off with like a cowbell. It was like, do. I was like, oh, okay, here's the beat. And then it just kind of went, more slow cellos. I was like, oh.
there was actually on September Come Take This Heart Away, there was a noise that I couldn't tell if it was in my room, so I had to take my headphones off and be like, is this on the song or is this in my room? Where it sounds like something is, like when you would have a piece of ribbon tied to an oscillating fan, and it would just kind of blow and kind of flutter.
Right.
was like,
Yeah.
it was that kind of whirring in the background, and I was like, is that in the song? Because that's kind of cool. It's like just a really little vibration going on that I was like, oh, that adds something kind of nice. I like that.
It starts and it hits in a way that like fills up the whole space with this wall of sound, but it's like, it's one of those things where just like, it feels like it never stops just being this exact same consistency of wall of sound, you know, like.
I remember thinking the lyrics to that one were cool though, where it was talking about like a ghost that was like in the room or something, and like blood was dripping from the ceiling. Like that one actually painted a fucking like creepy picture of like, oh fuck, what happened, you know?
Yeah, what was the other one where I thought did a good job of missing? I think was it They'll Only Miss You When You Leave? Yeah, when he gets little moments of like imagery and like, because it's the specificity of when he says like telephones and postcards with misshapen hearts besides the names. I've read these letters for the 100th time today. I rearranged, analyzed the words, tried to find something between the lines that wasn't there. At least now I can see through those worn out lines and torn up pages. Don't know how I'll fall asleep tonight. Like, you know, like I like that actually like really brought me into the moment. And then like it was one of those things like I could see the cards, you know what I mean? The misshapen hearts beside the names, and him like looking at trying to find like what was the thing that, and again, you're kind of like left ambiguous as like, is this about like, oh, someone had like, you know, off themselves, and so it's just like, oh, trying to see like is this the thing that lets me know that this is telling me that they were sad, or it's like, or it could be like, is this the thing telling me that they actually weren't happy with me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, like it allows you to sort of to you know, be ambiguous and fill in the blanks yourself, and then of course having the imagery at the end was like the storm will slowly close in on me, you know. So like I like that it gives you that like the emotion tied in with the imagery that really puts you in the moment, you know. Farewell to All These Rotten Teeth, I just thought was whack. It was just like
real. I thought that was okay.
Like no, it's not that it was just like, it just felt like the typical song, and then halfway through it's like, oh hey, we're kind of doing something, and then it just kind of didn't really change up. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like okay, you know. It
livened up a bit towards the end, but it
just
kind of felt like it was too late for it.
Yeah.
You know? And I had written down, and I have a feeling that like if I would have heard this song on its own in a playlist, I wouldn't have really felt as, you know, negative about it. But because I've sat through 8 songs so similar to it already by this point, like, this one would have been fine on its own. But with that context, I couldn't really enjoy it. And I also have written down for low-budget, slow-motion soundtrack song for leaving. I wrote down, oh, so this is slow motion? Not everything up to this fucking point. This is slow motion?
Oh, now we want to get self-aware?
Come on, man. And yeah. By that point, I was just over it, unfortunately. I just kind of checked out.
Like, it honestly felt like the song titles were trying to liven up the mood. Like, you know, like, you have that title, and then the one right before it is Sophisticated Fuck Princess, Please Leave Me Alone. It's like, whoa, where was this?
Yeah,
like,
no way.
This was not the song titles a couple of tracks ago.
You
like,
can't do that. That's way too Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance for this. You can't get away with that.
And the song is not that at all, you know?
It did not reflect it.
And this is the one where, like, even though I actually remember liking it more, but it was just like, there were so many percussive P's up against the mic that the female singer was doing. It was just like, what's going on?
P's.
Yeah, did you notice that?
I didn't pick up on the plosive
P's. Slightly too close to the mic. But yeah, other than that, what was the last track? Oh, March 19th, 1983. It Was Probably Green. This feels like the apex of what I felt about this album, where it's just like, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's certainly doing something, and I'm not sure if it's really tapping into the emotion here, but it's kind of like, because like the idea I think of the song is that like, oh, you know, when someone dies, we kind of, you know, put on our own sort of way that we feel about them to make ourselves feel better. So it's like, oh, I'm putting in these, you know, superfluous details. Oh, she probably liked the color green, you know, like that's kind of like a thing we're doing. But it's just so like, just feels like a nothing line. Like it's just like, after she died, we decided to believe that her favorite color was probably green. It's just like, so?
I got a 2.5.
I give this a 3.5. 3.5.
Whoa. Yeah. I'm sorry, I actually gave it a 2.75, so I'm gonna bump it up to a 3.
Look at you. Fuck all that shit. Let's get
the funk up. Thank you, Ryan Holter, for requesting Batman by Prince. Man, oh man. The goddamn Prince Batman soundtrack.
The Batman soundtrack. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad that we get requests like this, because I've seen this movie for years and have never heard all of these songs whole.
That's the thing. There's a couple songs on here that I fuck with so hard, right? Other ones, I can honestly tell you, I've never heard, and after listening to this album, I don't really care to listen to again. But that is not to say that this album is not without its absolute fucking bangers.
Oh, this is quite a time. Starting with The Future. Bit of a minimalist, low-key. I think, like, it's not the best track, but I think it, like, has a little bit of slappage, you know what I mean?
This is a really interesting song to start the album with. Really not putting your best foot forward.
Yeah, no.
But, like you had just said, the sick bass solo right after Prince says, wait a minute. And everything just kind of stops. And then there's a little bass solo. It's like, ooh, shit.
And what's funny, though, is that, like, the hook is like, you know, I've seen the future and it will be. You know, I've seen the future and it works. So, like, when this happens and you think it's going to be the hook again, so, like, it sounds a little funny. Like, it sounds like he thought he saw the future, but then he fucked up. It's like, I've seen the future and it will be. Wait a minute. I didn't predict that. Yeah, like fucking Raven Simone over here. The prophecy didn't go the way he wanted.
And I also liked the I don't exactly I know it's just like a vocal synth sample, but that like ooh.
Oh yeah, that little thing.
I always like when people do that. The fucking Mark Mothersbaugh Rugrats,
right?
fucking like voice on a keyboard shit. I was like
leading
that.
into the weird fakeness of the sound. Yeah.
But fucking Electric Chair.
Oh man.
Yo, This was one I was not very familiar with.
Yeah, me neither.
Wow.
Okay, now can I say this? I actually don't think the hook is as good, but everything else is explosive.
It's right out the fucking gate with these loud-ass drums and bass.
The drums! Oh, it's so 80s. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. But yeah,
like as I was listening to it, like I didn't think Batman. I was thinking like this sounds like it should be like in a Spider-Man movie, something more colorful and popping and crazy. You know what I mean? Like
the whole put me in the electric chair for all my future crimes. I was like, okay. But you whispered something. It took my mind out like a G flat major with the E in the bass. Your face looks so good. I want to touch your mouth. My brain is jacking all over the place.
Yeah,
can we just talk about
the 31st century, like sex crazed but techno like infused sort of lyricism?
I always see this movie as more of a movie for kids, and I don't know why, because it's not a kids movie. But the thing is. And what people these days need to understand is that we come from a different time, right?
Oh, sure.
Where there was a time period where, especially movies that would get, like, cartoon adaptations, like, let's just say, for example, like, you would have an action figure toy line for RoboCop, right?
Or Rambo.
Or the Toxic Avenger. And then you would see the fucking movie and it's like, oh, holy shit. This movie's violent as fuck. This movie's gross. But then he's like, oh, well, there's this little cute little toy line marketed to kids. And I always just kind of look at Batman.
It's the cigarettes of Hollywood, right? I mean, like, you kids aren't supposed to be watching this movie, but here's this cool thing that's going to help you remember it. Because you know it's cool.
Like, Batman, I can't help but associate with, like, the Dick Tracy movie. Where it's, like,
it's
colorful.
the same time, yeah.
It's around that same time. It's based on a property from the fucking 30s and 40s, you know? But when you look at the movie's really fucking violent. Someone gets fucking, like, electrocuted, like, joy buzzard hand to death, and you see the fucking charred skeleton in a fucking chair. Like, that movie's fucking brutal. But still, when I listen to the soundtrack and I hear lines like, my brain is jacking all over the place, I'm like, I can't help but picture kids picking up this album and listening to these fucking lines. And there's more later. There's way
nothing
more
wrong with
later.
Reagan's America.
But it's like, holy shit, man. Like, Prince in the background of Electric Chair, he's just straight up making fuck noises. Like,
yeah. Oh, we'll get to those fuck noises.
he's just moaning and humping in the background. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
It sounds like he's humping the track. But yeah, he's like, I saw. And then these lyrics. Okay, let's just say this right now. 98% of these lyrics have nothing to do with Batman. Nothing at all.
Absolutely not. No fucking way. And when they do, it's honestly kind of jarring.
Yeah, it's like, what? Wait, is this about Batman? This sounds like Batman actually, like, just lives, like, we're actually getting the Playboy life of Batman, and then, like, seeing, like, the 2% of the life where he actually has to fight crime. Sometimes he's like, oh, BT does, yeah, I should probably stop that penguin. Like, you know?
It's the fucking song, and it's one that I wasn't as high on. Vicky Waiting.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Where Prince is essentially the Joker. He even says, like,
Sure. Alternates between Batman and the Joker, it seems.
He says, whatever floats this Joker's boat is whatever this Joker will bang. Holy shit. But, like, this is also what I wasn't aware of, is that at the time of the movie, Prince was dating Kim Basinger.
Oh!
Who played Vicky in the movie. So I was like,
he's like, he just got done banging Kim Basinger. He's like, let me go write another song for this album.
I'm gonna write a song about the character you play in this movie.
Yeah. What you writing, babe? Oh, nothing. Just doing a techno remix.
But there's also this line from that same song. This is such a Prince couplet here. I tell her the joke about the woman who asked her love, why is your organ so small? He replied, I didn't know I was playing in a cathedral. Vicky didn't laugh at all.
Oh, Prince. Hey, look, he's embodying the Joker. He's like, okay, if I'm gonna do the Joker, I gotta tell at least one joke. You know?
Yeah, like that's Prince's "don't rub another man's rhubarb" moment.
Right?
It's just a little jokey thing he says.
And then, going back to Electric Chair there, was it this one? Oh, yeah, because, like, his voice is just so fucking cool. I feel like we talk a lot about his highs, but we don't give enough credit to the lows. Like, this man really is a bass baritone who has a really good falsetto. That's what, he tricked people into thinking that he was a tenor. This motherfucker has way too low of a voice for a fucking tenor, you know what I mean? Like, when he, first of all, the spicy little lyrics is like, I saw your friend first. That's who I danced with. All the time I was watching you. The music rocked us. Our lives shocked us. And then, like, making us see a trippy picture shoot. And this is the point where, like, the deep voice mixes with the high voice. And it always sounds so awesome when he does that. You know what I mean?
Picture shoot.
Yeah, picture shoot. And then, now we get to the Arms of Orion. Another track I really did enjoy. But again, I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with Batman?
I guess there's moments in the movie
where they go to space?
Like, where does this play? Yeah, I want to know. And this was a single. Like, they fucking released this with a B-side and everything.
Oh, of course. You can't have the Batman soundtrack without the song about the Arms of Orion. Just like in 1995, you couldn't have Batman Forever without, something about a kiss on the rose on the grave or some bullshit.
Oh, that's right.
Look, I don't know, Batman movies just have to have weird random imagery that has nothing to do with Batman.
Yeah, this is with Sheena Easton.
Yes, fucking Sheena Easton.
Yeah. Of course. It is. It's Prince in the mid-'80s. Okay.
So I heard that this album, before I'd ever listened to this album, I heard like a podcast with someone talking about this, the main song, and how it's like, these are just a bunch of Lucy's that he just kind of threw together. These are just like, I don't want to put out a full album, but these are the stuff I have hanging around. And it's just that moment where you go like, wait, this is the stuff you had hanging around? Like, hold the fucking phone, Because, like, Arms of Orion, I gotta say it, this is the most, like, their singing is so sweet and tender. It's, like, right in the fucking pocket in a way that's just like, god damn. Vicky Waiting was the one where I felt was the lesser version of this. But, it reminded me of, like, the other albums we listened to from him, like Slow Love, where it's just like that, you just want to turn up that radio on that really shitty radio, you know what I'm saying? Like from the 90s where it like clearly sounds like clock radio speakers, you know what I mean? And just like start making love with the curtains open. Who cares who sees it? Who cares? The quality of the sound isn't that good. I'm just feeling this, you know? Like
See, I was kind of on the fence about The Arms of Orion. I thought it was a little shaky to start.
Oh, too schmaltzy for you?
I thought once it kicked in and Sheena joined in, but I didn't really buy their, like, chemistry.
I get that.
I didn't really think they mixed too well on this one. I think they both sound great.
Yeah, individually sounded great, but yeah. It's not usurping, what was it, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, or whatever.
Yeah, no, like... This isn't going on any countdowns of, like, most romantic movie themes, you know?
Right.
Love lifts us up where we... Like, it's never gonna be in that echelon, you know?
And the one thing, although I enjoyed the track more, the one thing I really didn't like is that at the tail end where, this synth solo comes in that just kind of feels like it, like, is lost and kind of goes out of whack at the end where you're just like, oh, what was that?
Yeah, there's a lot of times on this album where things just kind of happen. And
yes.
I guess it makes sense if there's that, like, oh, this is just things I had lying around, you know?
That's what it is. Like, when I hear that, these are just a bunch of loosies hanging around, like, I don't get that for the most part, and then I hear little points that are just like, oh, yeah, you probably wouldn't have put that on a track that you actually, like, wanted to, like, stamp, you know? Like, yeah. Now we get to, goddamn, gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
Fucking Party Man.
Pumping the fucking cane up in the air.
This fucking song. This is the song like, when I think the Batman movie.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the scene I think about. Fucking Joker dancing around the museum, smashing all the shit. Like,
who knows why
painting
he's
Joker faces on
this?
busts and shit.
Yeah, just causing chaos just for its own sake. And be like, oh yeah, BT Dubs, I wanted to get to Vicky Vale, but at first I need to spend 5 minutes just fucking around with this museum.
But this song really does fuck me up. Like, Jesus.
It fucking rips.
The part where the fucking horns just come in randomly.
Oh, hey, nuking it down. He has a certain voice that he uses because it's on this song and it wasn't on the previous songs where it's like Kid Prince, you know what I mean? Like you can hear it's a little higher in his timbre and he sounds like a bratty kid who's like, you know, regardless, you know, he's that shit. You know what I'm saying?
There was a song I wasn't really high on. What was it called? Something House. It was like, shut up already, damn. What was that song?
That voice, yeah.
Where I was like, this is obnoxious. Party Man is the shit though. It's like,
right.
This is like, I don't know what the difference between the two necessarily is. I haven't listened to the song in a minute. But something about it. I think, honestly, the music of Party Man is just way cooler.
Yeah, I think the music of this is just cool. Because when I listen to that other song, it has a little datedness on it. Where it's just like, I can hear the, you know, the sort of like, the bit of scratchiness to you know, the oldness of others. But Party Man, this shit is fucking evergreen.
I think it was also trying to be like a hip-hop song, and that really didn't work either. I guess that kind of fit into the feeling kind of dated.
Yeah, it was emulating the sound, but it didn't really know what hip-hop really sounded like yet. That's what I get with, like, some of the tracks on this album. It feels like proto New Jack Swing. It's like right before the hip-hop guys really came in and said, this is what New Jack sounds like. 'Cause this is like 1989, so it would be like 1990 when that would have happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then, okay, so we got Party Man. Track I fucking love. Can I just say, like, is this just a random Jamaican woman every now and then on the
Okay, yeah. I never knew what she was saying until I read it on Genius.
And it felt like she never, like, fit anywhere. Like, it wasn't like, oh, she only comes in after the hook. It just seems like she's like, what the fuck? Like, just this woman just randomly buzzing around this track. And it's like, who is this person?
The part I have quoted, especially because of what Prince says right after it, is when she says, say I ought to knock you in, but don't come, no. And then Prince says, if it break when it bend, you better not put it in.
Whoa.
What? I'm sorry? What the fuck is happening, man? Then Vicky waiting, yeah. But then we got fucking Trust. Oh my god. Trust
just really
is
quick.
so fucking dope. I love Trust.
I just want to say real quick about the intro to Vicky Waiting, where Jack Nicholson, you just hear him say, "I'm of the mind to make some Mookie phone book," and I was just like, "What the fuck does Mookie mean?" I was like, "Wait, was that a phrase?"
The samples of the voice clips from the movie
So
on most of
random.
these tracks, it doesn't fucking work. At the beginning of Party Man, I think it works.
Oh, perfection. That song, has anyone done it before this song? Of a, like, here is a sample that's going to be in the hit pop song that's from a movie. Like, because the first time I remember people doing that is Wu-Tang Clan in 1992. Did anyone do that before this song, though? Because I'm trying to think
of.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, I was thinking, like, this is actually kind of innovative. And what's funny is that I think he was probably just fucking around and just going like, hey, I'll just do this. You know what? I was doing it for the movie soundtrack. Let's just put a little clip of the movie up there. Because, like, it sounds cool in that sort of, like, Wu-Tang Clan. It's not actually recorded that well on the tracks. You kind of hear a little bit of a hissing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it adds a bit of coolness to it. And then, yeah, just the fact that you said, like, Mookie, I was just like, isn't that the character from Do the Right Thing? Like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what? But yeah, fuck all that. Let's get
Trust.
trust.
Do ya?
Come. Sex. You know he's got to say sex.
The way they fucking slide that in there.
It's so like, God damn it, Prince.
And this instrumental is just fucking nuts. And again, the horns go way over the top.
Woo!
There was a
God damn
song
it.
recorded for the soundtrack that was supposed to play in the part of the movie where Trust played instead, called 200 Balloons.
Huh.
It's not as good. From what I heard, it basically got remixed into Bat Dance. Like, he just took the song and just made it Bat Dance.
Jesus. Like, he really was like, we're using all the scraps of this fucking...
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
But then, yeah, like, Trust plays...
yeah.
But in the movie, Trust plays a little bit, and then I remember Joker is, like, on the parade float.
Yeah, pumping his hands.
Who do you trust? Who do you trust? He does that little voice.
Yeah, oh, Jack Nicholson is a fucking madman in that movie.
He is why that is, like, an all-timer for me. Like,
Yeah.
I love Batman Returns for way more reasons.
Oh, sure.
But the first Batman is so fucking good, and mainly because Jack Nicholson is an amazing villain in that movie.
And I remember as a kid, we had the VHS, and you see Jack Nicholson's name first, and I always remember as a kid being like, but he's not Batman. But like, as soon as he watched the movie, he's like, nah, you know why this motherfucker gets top billing?
He might as well be.
Didn't he also get like 5% of like any revenue that the movie makes or something like that, which is basically why like he's able to just like not do that many acting roles after this movie?
Oh shit! Yeah, I can fucking imagine the merch and the fucking residuals from this have got to be insane.
Yeah, but I just want to quote this one lyric from the whole lyric is like, "Come, it's easy, just let yourself go, don't put up a fight." But then he says, "Sex, it's not that type of party, girl. We're getting higher tonight." And it's like, wait, but
It's not that
What is
kind
it
of
about?
party. It's like, wait,
yeah,
what?
it's like, I thought it seems like it is because he said sex pretty like explicitly. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
sex,
you
that's not
brought
what
it
we're
up.
doing. Yeah, we don't have to take. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Fucking
But- and
Jermaine
then,
Jackson.
I found out because he quotes at the beginning of the album talking about something about like someone tried to give him X or something like that, and he's talking about like, oh man, I'd rather drink razor blades or something like that. And,
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot when he said that.
I fell down this mini rabbit hole of like the unreleased Prince album, the Black album, that he never put out because he was being a bad boy on that album, and then he did X for the first time. He had never done drugs, even though he's like this really freaky cat. He had never done drugs up until 1987 or something like that.
Weird.
And it was like right after he had finished this album, and someone got some X for him, and he had such a bad hallucinogenic experience that he was just like, oh my god, I can't do bad stuff anymore. I can't be responsible for putting bad into the world. It's like, and this album has a whole bunch of like dark stuff on it. Let me take this album off. So it was like right before this album was set to go. And so there's apparently there's this whole thing in the Prince fandom anthem of like this is their white whale of trying to fucking, you know, find this album for the longest time. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, he had said it was coming out, and then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of people who were anticipating that album, it just didn't drop, and a whole bunch of people were just like, wait, what the fuck happened? And like, apparently some of the copies got out, so some people had it. So it was like just enough out there to be like, oh no, it exists, but where is it? Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. But then we got to get to what I think is my favorite track on this goddamn album.
Oh.
Yo, every time you kiss me, living curse, never can resist the living curse. Every time you do me, such a rush. Oh man, I am not. Look, oh, it goes right through me. Like, I'm not doing any justice to the cool ass fucking harmonies. They're so fucking tight and high, and it's like, like, oh my god, dude. I don't know what a fucking Lemon Crush is, but I wanted to buy it.
I have no idea what you're fucking talking about here. I can only speculate. But yeah, and there's like a xylophone synth throughout it too. Yeah. There's like weird, and especially by the end, this song floats right on over into Oingo Boingo territory. It just goes off the fucking rails.
Madness. And like I said, it was just like, yeah, dude, yeah, we all know that Batman villain, Lemon Crush. Like, what the fuck? What is he talking about? Oh, yeah,
of course.
It's like I said, I could totally imagine, though, because this sounds so good, I could totally imagine that it's the 1989 Batman movie, and, oh, Batman's got to go to the local corner store to pick up a can of Lemon Crush before he goes fight crime, you know?
Yeah, I was sitting here like, they never made a Lemon Crush, did they? Why not?
I mean, this is the fucking campaign song for it. They might as fucking well, like, wow, y'all really just left money on the table. I literally would have bought this and be like, I don't even, like, it could have tasted like fucking Simpsons piss. I still would have fucking drank it, because this song is so goddamn cool. I just wanted to be seen with Lemon Crush, you know?
Oh, yeah. Now, Scandalous might be the worst song on the album.
Yeah, it just plods on. It's not nearly. This is the one where I was like, not nearly. Yeah, I was like, not nearly as sexy as Slow Love or any of the joints that like actually like sexy. And oh my god, the stock female sex grunt noises was so just like, dude, stop it.
Now, there was something about this that I wanted to bring up. A maxi single was released after the single titled The Scandalous Sex Suite, which contains a 3-part, 19-minute suite of the song Scandalous with 3 parts: the crime, the passion, and the rapture.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have been able to, because at 6 minutes, this was already kind of testing my patience. Scandalous. Maybe part 2 and part 3 would have been a little bit more upbeat.
It might have picked up.
Speaking of doing a 3-parter, we got to talk about the albatross of the album. Bad Days!
The big single.
Okay, so for me, I hated this when I first heard of it. I absolutely hated it. Like, you know when you hear a song and you're just like, where the fuck are the verses? Why the fuck is it just like this formless fucking, what is happening in this song? Like, there's no structure, you know?
I don't like this song either. It's not good. It is a mess. It's a fucking blob of a song. I do, again, really like the Oingo Boingo at the top. That absolutely has fucking Danny Elfman all over it. And since Danny Elfman did the fucking score for the movie, I'm pretty sure, why Prince and Danny Elfman didn't work together on shit.
Oh my god.
That would have been incredible.
Whoa, why didn't that happen?
But with the music and the sound clips from the movie happening in the background so much.
Jesus, it's so awful.
It sounds like when you play a pinball machine and there's just like the music that plays in the background when you're playing the game, and there's just random sound bites from the movie.
Batman, Vicky Vale, I like Batman. Like, oh my god.
I like Batman. No.
It's so awkward.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Just initially.
Vicky Vale.
It's so awkward. Like, just how it starts off with the, get the funk on! like some sort of like that like it's the character from Reefer Madness, you know, who's like all smoked out. He's like, get the fuck out! You know what I mean?
See, I don't mind that. I do think it goes downhill from there, though.
It just happens too much. Like, that should have been the first line is right before the drop. Get the fuck out! And then drop it. But when you keep doing something that exasperated, it sounds silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God, that part where, not a sample, mind you, but just where the music cuts off and he's like, do it. Boom. And he's like, keep busting.
Keep
like,
busting.
Like, bro, what?
See, I like that too. Really, the only parts of the song I don't like are the shoehorned samples from the movie. So which is the music has to dip out. This town needs an enema. What was that doing in there?
Oh my God, wait. We got, because this is the fucking suite, the techno suite that we had going on here. Because is this the first like techno song to hit #1, I guess? Because this is like,
it was a #1 single, yeah.
I was just like, how were people here listening to this on the radio? Were they listening to the whole thing? Like, I wish I could go back to 1989 and hear what was happening. Because no one plays this on the radio now. This isn't, you know what I mean? This hasn't been grandfathered in with the other, you know, with the big Prince songs like Kiss or whatever. You know, no one's remembering this. So it was like, what the fuck was it like? Being like, oh man, the new Prince song, I can't wait to, you know, try to imitate the next, you know, melodic line he throws at us. You know what I mean? What musical genius is he giving us? And then just hearing this and be like, what the fuck? What's happening?
See, and it's hard to picture it being a hit single on the radio. I just gotta say, if you see the music video...
Oh, yeah, sure.
Where it's just a group of dancing people in Batman costumes and a group of people in dancing Joker costumes. And then you got Prince there in like a half Batman, half Joker costume.
The dichotomy of man. That, you know, oh my God, that was, look. He's more brilliant than we could have ever guessed. All these like weird lyrics where he's going between Batman and Joker. He is both.
Now, I do remember there is the other music video that we've talked about before where he's like he's just in the Joker suit and he's at that party and he kills Weird Al.
Wait, what was it?
I know I've mentioned this on the show before. There's a guy who was like, has curly hair, glasses, and a mustache and a Hawaiian shirt, and he leans in and he has a cigar in his mouth and Prince lights it and the fucking cigar explodes.
What video is this?
It's the oh wait, am I looking at the this is the Party Man music video. Never mind, hold on one second.
Prince is so like weirdly sensitive about that type of shit. Cause like I remember this being a whole like, you know, a whole thing where like, hey, you know, I ask people to do parodies of their songs and the only person who doesn't let me do it is Prince, you know, and like people asked him, it's like, oh, how come you haven't done any Prince parodies? It's like, you know, some people don't have any sense of humor and wear purple, you know.
It is the Party Man extended version music video, right?
Oh, wow. Oh, so they were like, hey, man, you can't be dissing Weird Al, man. You gotta cut that out.
There's a part in the music video also where a small chimp is on a piano.
I am just watching through this. I have not watched this Party Man video, I don't think.
The chimp pops up at the 4-minute and 30-second mark where he gives him a phony banana. And I gotta think that that's a diss to Michael Jackson and his fucking bubbles, right?
Wow.
Because it's like, you know, Petty Prince has a beef with Michael Jackson, and then he kills him.
God damn. Getting all the people back in his music videos. And oh my God, look at the end of the video. At the end of the video, it's so stupid. It's like, oh, all of these people are dead, I guess. And then the police come in, and they're like, oh, look, I think he did it. I guess he started laughing. And it's just like, the police go in, they're like, oh no, we're too late. And they look at Prince as the camera zooms out, and he's like, ha 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 ha. And he just walks out, and it's just like, I mean, you can still get him. Like, what?
Yeah, I'm looking at him. He's just over there laughing.
It's like, nope, he already did the crime. He got away with it. No, we can only catch you in the middle of the crime. If you already did the crime, you win.
Wait, and then it just pops up. God damn it! The fucking cards on the YouTube music video. I can't.
So you can't fucking see it. Yeah.
I can't see it. It pops up and it has like characters down the right side of the screen in pink.
I tried to turn off like the annotations or whatever the fuck you're supposed to turn off but nothing's working.
God damn it! Hold on a second. There's only one way to solve this.
Maybe I'll make it large. No, that didn't work.
I have to download the music video and then look at it. This is what you're forcing
us to do, YouTube. This is your fault. You brought this on yourself.
Give me 1 second here. I'll find out in just a second. This ain't over yet.
I would have never guessed.
So there's another part we never see.
Oh no, the crime wave continues.
This video's already 7 minutes. How much more could there be?
I've only begun. I've not yet begun to spread crime.
Watch the story continue in the 19-minute scandalous suite. No.
Oh my god, so getting back to the fucking song though.
Yeah.
So, because I'm enjoying the guitar part for a bit, because the guitar kind of starts to go off, and I'm like, oh shit, we're fucking going off. And then it cuts off so awkwardly to introduce the, like, slower Vicky Vale part, so it just feels like the song just tripped over itself. Like, I felt like I was listening to, like, a cheap South Park early season music cue, you know, where it's like, like the way it switches up, and it does a little thing where it's, like, repeating the part that it gets into, so it sounds even more like a mistake, you know? So it's like, the music's going, Vicky Vale. I like Batman. Ooh, yeah. Oh my god. Knowing that this is his wife at the time makes it even more awkward. I mean, even more silly because he's talking to his wife, but he's like, ooh, yeah. I want to bust that body.
Oh god. I want to bust that body.
Because it doesn't even sound believable.
No.
You know? So what? Oh my god!
What is it about Prince, man? Like, he has this reputation of being so smooth and slick, and then it's like him and Sheena Easton, no romantic chemistry. Now it's in this like, I want to bust that bot. It's like, what the hell? Who is this? This is not Prince.
Yeah, and then
this is the Joker.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Keep busting.
He's gone mad.
This is Prince on Joker toxin.
I'm the Joker, baby. That's it. No, oh yeah, I've got to go to work. Batman, I've got to go to work. It's just so, and then don't they? Yeah, they start randomly putting in parts from earlier in the album. If a man is considered guilty for what goes on in his mind, it's like, oh, man, that's not even the good part of the song.
Yeah, it starts sampling a whole bunch of different parts from other songs from earlier. All the songs that got released as singles, I think, get sampled again in this one. So it's like, it's like an overture. That's actually brilliant.
Yeah. At first I was like, man, this absolutely sucks ass. It is so jumbled and awful. And it reminds me of, like, you know, other songs like Welcome to the Terror Dome or like Rock Me Amadeus, where you're just like, you're listening to it and you're just like, wait, is this when are the verses starting? What it was like, you know, you have to make sure that you get it. You hear at the beginning the version where the girl saying, ooh, rock me Amadeus. It's like, okay, that's the one where the actual verses happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's another version where it's just like the club mix, and it's just like, it infuriates you after a while, right? Where you're just like, where the fuck are the verses? But yeah, with this one in particular, I was just like, oh my god, this is so bad, this is so awful. And then when I kind of hear it, like, when it switched back to the second part where it gets to like, this town needs an enema, and it was just like, I was sort of going like, do I kind of like this? It's like, do I like that this is being ambitious and, like, you know, doing something different? Like, hey, we're giving you sweets, it's cutting out the music, doing everything. And then I, you know, had to listen to it again for actually reviewing to it. And I was like, no, I don't like this. Like, it's an interesting idea, but I don't like this. And then there was one part where it's like, there's parts of this song where it sounds like it's a sample, but I don't think it is, because I was like, I don't remember that being in the movie, but it sounds like it's like, it has that little clip, you know, that clip sort of hissing sound to it, where it's like, here's someone going like, don't stop dancing, no, damn it, turn the music back up, you son of a bitch, and then you hear an explosion, and I'm like, what part of the movie was that?
Yeah, I think that was just recorded for the song. What I thought you were gonna say was how the song ends.
Oh wait, how does it end?
It has a voice going, Batman, and then Batman just goes, stop.
Oh yeah. Oh no, you hear the Joker's that little Joker thing that Remember that the little laughing thing that he has at the end? Yeah. And so it's like it goes on for a little bit longer. It gets a little obnoxious. So he goes like, "Stop!" And it actually is kind of like no. I am actually glad Batman stopped that. That is, the one crime you stopped was that going on too fucking long.
Stop.
It's just a voice that yells, "Batman, stop!"
It sounds like you know, someone's at the scene of the crime and it's just annoying them, and the cop's like, "Batman!" It's like, it's voice activated. Stop.
See, if it was just him saying "stop" at the laughing, I agree with you. But it sounds like he's telling the guy who's yelling Batman to stop. Batman, stop.
Do not. Like he's enthralled in a game of fucking Parcheesi. So he's going, Batman, stop. Okay, respect my personal time.
He's trying to play Jenga. He's trying to plan out which brick he's gonna pull. Batman, stop.
I'm off the clock. You can't. Look, just because I'm in the suit doesn't mean I didn't have time to get out of it. All right.
I can never turn down Jenga. You know me. Oh my god.
Man. So, what would you rate this album?
I got a 3.75.
You know, I gotta give it that 4. I gotta round it up. Like, for as stupid as the last song is and how much it, like, basically almost ruins what was going for most of the track. Like, so much of this is so, like, god damn it, this is a Prince album. Like, what the fuck? Like, this isn't this is just a throwaway. No, bitch, this is a fucking Prince album, and these are some dope-ass cuts, like, and these deserve to be fucking hits. Like, holy shit, this was fucking, for the most part, really enjoyable.
Yeah, I think, like, it definitely doesn't come across as stuff I had laying around. It definitely feels more competent than that. But also, when you told me that's what it was, I also wasn't surprised by it.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I can see that.
This is just the level of competency of Prince when it comes to, like, the music that he makes. So these are what the Lucy's end up sounding like, you know?
I think it's just between Bat Dance, fucking Vicky Waiting, and Scandalous.
Yeah.
That's a third of the album.
Yeah, that's
true. There's only 9 songs, and that's 3 of them that I'm just like, you can cut all those. So it's like, But
yeah,
the songs that I do fuck with are really fucking good, so...
Right, they so knock it out of the park. And you know what? If that fucking... whatever the hell that track was, Scandalous, was the 3-part suite, then I would definitely knock it down. Like, no, you gotta have 2 3-part suites in a row, motherfucker. Oh
my god, can you imagine if they just slapped a random 19-minute song on this fucking thing?
Oh man, would have stopped the momentum dead.
Yeah, no way would Warner have let him get away with that.
Yeah, well, thank God Batman diverted that alternate universe. So, you know.
Fucking Batman told him to stop.
Yeah. I gotta put a 19-hour suite on this album. Stop.
That about does it for this week's episode of Going Off. And we not only thank you so much for spending your time with us, we greatly appreciate it, spending your time sitting down and listening to this episode of 3 solid reviews, but we also want to thank the people who did request those albums, and we want to let you know that if you were sitting at home and there's an album that you would like to hear us talk about, head on over to our Ko-fi.
Black November continues.
About a week and change left, I think, by the time this goes up. So not exactly sure. Either way, it ends when November ends, so you have till the end of the month. To get $50 off a album review request for the rest of the month, head on over to Ko-fi.com. That's ko-fi.com/goinoff, GOINOFF. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and YouTube and Patreon and our individual Ko-fis and the Fan House Riffcoms page, fanhouse.app/riffcoms.
Patreon.com/rapcritics to join the Rapcritic Discord and chat with me and fellow fans. Get to see the episode early. And of course, my Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/rapcritic for stuff outside of just album reviews. If you want to review, like, if you want me to review a song, if you want me to review a movie, you want me to do a live stream. That feels like about it, right?
Yeah, I don't know about yourself, but I plan on staying on Twitter for the foreseeable future. Yeah, it is a bit of a fucking dumpster fire, admittedly.
Yes, but I honestly stay on there just to be like, hey, there are people on there that I can like hit up and be like, yo, you want to do a collab? Da, da, da. Like that's literally what I use it for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, for sure. Like,
Twitter, all these social media apps are tools, okay? You know, and you use them for your benefit. Don't let them use you. You know what I mean? When you're getting angry and yelling at, some rando online because they don't 100% agree with your opinion, just know you are being used as the tool. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I've been realizing. It's like, all right, step back. I don't need to argue with randos. Use it for the tool that I need. Hey, there's lots of people on there. Oh, let me hit up somebody. Da, da, da. That's what I use it for. You know what I'm saying? Not to try to, someone's wrong on the internet. It must be corrected. Fuck that. We ain't got time for that.
So I say all that to let you know that our Twitter links and everything are in our link trees in the description. So make sure you're following us so you don't miss updates on anything and know what we're talking about. And sometimes we'll talk about, upcoming things we're working on and stuff. So you don't want to miss out on any of that. But until next time for Going Off, I'm Muse.
And I'm the Rap Critic. And Chief, aren't those the assholes from that podcast Going Off? Borg, never end a sentence in a preposition. Oh, I mean that podcast off in which they were going.
Stop.